talk about innovation, we look at organizations and they haven't worked out exactly why they need to be innovative and what innovation would mean for them. So part of the diagnostic is to get into each and every organization and look at its culture and say, do you know what, this is not a thing that is necessarily driven from the top. The CEO, the top management team can't tell you that you should be innovative. The amazing thing is that in organizations, some people believe this, that they can actually control innovation, that somehow it would just be a system whereby you would control it down there. Whereas what we've started to realize is that you want it to happen in different parts of the organization, depending on the problem and the situation, the person you've got there, the resources you've got there, so that you've got mushrooming creativity all over the organization. There can't be just one innovation program. There has to be this kind of mushrooming, which means that you need to look at situation and situational creativity. What in our organization, what makes innovation work in that situation, and how do we nurture it? How do we develop that? How do we grow that? How do we get those people in that project? How do we get them to own it? How do we get them to run with it? So we moved to this concept of situational creativity. And underlying that is the whole issue of motivation as well. Most innovation programs are about having fun. Well, when you go to the program, people will tell you that if, in order to innovate, we should have fun. People only innovate for two reasons. One is money. They can make an awful lot of money, which you might not be able to satisfy in the organization. We don't actually have an awful lot of money. And the second thing is you should be enjoying yourself and having fun. It's a kind of lame brain motivational model. It's crazy. It's completely crazy. The idea that you should be having fun all the time is the idea that an emotional cripple would believe, because some of the finest innovation has come out of adversity, where people have a real problem. It was interesting at this the breakfast we had with A.G. Lafley, to mention that session again, and Procter & Gamble. He said something that was quite profound. The reason that people work and are highly motivated is that they have a cause and that they believe they can make a difference. Now that's interesting. We're moving away from the idea that I'm just going to work, because I'm going to earn money. I need to put food on the table. I need to pay the mortgage. People have a cause. They really have a cause. And when we look at the companies we've worked with in the past, that is where we've really touched motivation, where people say, and I think of, for example, in Abbott in Ireland, where people started to see the patients they were dealing. This is Abbott Laboratories. And when they saw the patients and they brought patients into the plant where they're manufacturing the treatments for these patients, people actually sat up and realized they had a real cause. They were saving lives. That was the business. It wasn't just about making pills or going to work from 9 to 5. No, we had a real mission, which is about saving lives and improving the quality of life of patients. Then you start to become innovative. Then you say, listen, I can help that person solve that problem. And that's what we're looking for. That's what we want people to understand in this program. We see this all the time in organizations. You see this in the media business. You've got the creatives, and then you've got the admin people over here. And maybe media in itself is very particular, and you can have those separate. You can have the creatives and then the financial folk and the management here. Never the twain shall meet. Maybe that can work. But what we're seeing with other organizations is that we need that creativity to permeate the whole organization. You need the lowest level person and the highest level person to be involved in that creative, innovative process. If you look at what's happening today in our Western world, there are a couple of things we need to be worried about. One of them is automation. Most of the jobs that we do today can be automated. The minute that job can be automated, that job can disappear. And it can disappear onto a computer, or it can disappear into Asia. So as we know, here in New York, for every well-paid engineer that we have, we can find 10 Chinese engineers who are just as bright, who can do exactly the same job, and we'll pay them, a tenth, each one of them a tenth of what you're earning in New York. We can employ 10 guys to do the same thing. So you've got this automation, and you've got Asia, and eventually you start to realize that the way we're going to differentiate ourselves at a personal level, firstly, and our organizations. Here, why wouldn't our organizations just move everything over there, since you could do it at on the lowest cost basis? The only thing we have here that we can depend on, or that we've got to build, is our ability to innovate, to be creative every day, so that the organization builds an advantage. And if we think of the simplest routines that we have, we can send that to China or to India. But if you're going to protect yourself and your job, you're going to protect your department, you're going to protect your division or your company, it's got to be in the area of innovation. And I think that is the realization that people have. So that, to go back to the earlier thing about new product development, that's only one aspect of innovation, and even that we can move to Asia. We can't protect that. The only thing we're going to be able to protect is our own creative ability throughout the organization.